So for this exercise, we're going to go ahead and move on with the table that we already started building, and we're going to format it and clean it up a little bit. So let's go ahead and get started by cleaning up the rows and the columns. As you see, some things are overlapping a little bit, so we want to make sure that we take care of that, and there's a few ways to do this cleanup. The first way is to go ahead and go between the column headings, for example D and E. Do you see the cursor changes into a straight line with a double arrow? That means that it's selecting and making something ready to happen. So when you position this cursor between D and E and give a quick double click, it will reset the column row for you. So if you want to just take a few minutes, go ahead and try it between the different column headings. So go ahead and between B and C, position your cursor between the two till you see that double-headed arrow, and double click. So I would like you to go through each of the column groupings and go ahead and double click on the lines in between. Now pay very close attention to your cursor, because if you do not see that double arrow, it is not going to work properly. You need to make sure that the cursor is displayed this way to get the effect that we're looking for. So go ahead and take a moment and click in between the columns and resize all of your columns. Now that all of our columns have been condensed, let's go focus on the row headings. So for 2, 3, and 4, you see that some of the words are cut off. So we want to go back and make sure that the column A, between A and B, is also fixed. And now we want to go and resize the rows. So it works the same way. If you want to double click, it will automatically adjust to make sure everything's fit. But you can also position the cursor the same way. Remember, looking for that double-headed arrow. But this time, instead of left clicking, you want to right click. And you will get a shortcut menu. Towards the bottom grouping, you will see row height. Go ahead and click on that, and it'll display exactly what the row height is for your item. We want to go ahead and change the row height to 20. So go ahead and type 20 into the display box and hit OK. You can now go back and go between 3 and 4 and repeat the steps that you just completed. Okay, so now that all of our columns have been auto-sized, as well as our rows have been opened to the size 20, we're now going to add a little bit of additional formatting just to break off what certain things are. So go ahead and highlight cell B1 through I1, and go ahead and apply bold to those words. You're then also going to go through time for reading and highlight down to total, and also apply bold to those features as well. The last thing we want to do is highlight from cell B2 all the way through I5. Remember, that's the whole grouping, so that would be everything with the numbers in between. We're going to go ahead and just apply a center option there. So it'll just make the numbers go in the center of the column and clean it up a little bit for us. Now, of course, depending on what you're doing, you'll be able to change different things, different colors, whatever you would like to add more distinction to your items. So the one last thing we want to do is we just want to add in some borders for our Excel spreadsheet to make it finished off and complete. So you want to highlight from cell A1 all the way through I5, go up into your font group, and you'll see this little block here. And when you hover over it, it'll say bottom border. We don't want that one right now, but we actually want to hit the arrow beside it, which will give us some more options. So go ahead and click that arrow, and we're just going to apply all borders. Okay, so I'm going to undo that real quick. Go ahead and give it a try yourself. Select from A1 to I5, go to the font group, click the arrow next to your borders icon, and apply all borders. There's just one more additional formatting item that we would like to do, and this is actually called conditional formatting. So to apply conditional formatting, we're going to go ahead and highlight the cells underneath average. So remember, we're only working with the actual data, not the total, so we only want the 3 cells selected. We're then going to go up to conditional formatting, which is found in your styles group on your home tab. So it's right up here. Just go ahead and click the drop down, and we're going to click on highlight cells rules, and then we're going to go to less than, which is the second option listed here. So conditional formatting, highlight cell rules, less than. You will then get a pop-up box. So it says format cells that are less than. We are going to put a 6 in that box, and then you're able to change what it's displayed as. So you can do a light red fill with darker text, a yellow fill with yellow text, green with green text, and as well as make a custom format option. So for this exercise, we're going to go ahead and leave it at the default, which is light red fill with dark red text, and we're going to go ahead and hit OK. As you see, it applied the formatting to anything under the number 6. So it highlighted our 5.6 and 5.4. And this completes the formatting and conditional formatting demonstration video.